All right, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar with C-Zar Gets Crypto. I should be going live properly right now. Let's see here. Get this going. Maybe if it'll let me. Looks like it. Hey, how was your day? Hey, everybody. I just muted myself for a second. I was talking to my fiance, making sure she was all good. Anyways, we're looking at Matic today. It looks like I only got one That's right. I wanted to send this. Dang it, man. I really got to get my shit together. Share this to the Discord. And yes, the right one. There we go. Should be good to go now. Looks like someone is in the chat, maybe. Maybe not. Let's see. Is there a way to see the live? Let me see. Where are we at here? There we go. There we go. Alright. Okay. Bit of a rough start, but that's okay. Nobody's in the chat yet, so that's okay. We're going to talk about Matic. First things first, and then as people start rolling in, I'm always open to requests, and we can do some more stuff. Other than that, too, besides just talking about TA, we can BS a little bit too. I haven't eaten breakfast today, so I'm eating a sandwich. Sorry, it's not professional, but it's a little bit more personal on these live streams. Anyways, looking at Matic here on the monthly. RSI doesn't look bad. That's good. I mean, the monthly RSI is just kind of hard. Generally you look to see these oversold zone or overbought zones in the RSI, and really it doesn't. You don't have to see an oversold zone for it to have bottomed. It can bottom right here, which isn't conventional in most like weeklies or dailies. But looking at this thing from a low to a high using your fib here, looks like, man, I don't know which one to take. I normally I would take this, but I might take that one. I don't know, because that is the technical all-time high. I wonder if this is the right chart to use. Let's see, Matic USD, if there's one with more data on it. Matic USD, let's go to crypto and see. No, okay, Binance is fine. That's good. I like Binance because it has the most historical data anyways. Let's see if the USDT, yeah, cool. So it looks like Matic has found a low around its 382, but not quite there. I don't know if you need to go back down here. I would say that this is the low for Matic. I think it did bottom in June. Maybe this is not a low. Maybe we do go lower than that. But if we do, it's okay. It's not a big deal. Let's see. Let's see here. I feel comfortable using that as a top. I know that's the all-time high, but that was a fake out, right? You can see it just faked out and then right back down below this line the next day or the next week. So let's actually see if that was the next day. Not that it really matters, but I'm just curious. Yeah, it wasn't the next day, but the following day. But you did turn around the next day. Anyways, looking at this thing on a weekly, the RSI looks kind of weak. It looks, it could have bottomed. This very well could have been a low. But it wouldn't surprise me if we went back down into the oversold zone. We're at the 40 area right now, which is the bearish area of control whenever you're below this 40 line. And I would anticipate further price action to the downside just from the look of this. Although 3 hours, 52 minutes left in the week, we have kind of a green week here. I don't know. Let's see. Let's get rid of this fib and see. Bottom to top. Yeah, I would think you go lower, just from the overall look. That would be my expectation on a daily basis. Let's see here. You've got hidden bearish divergence, it looks like. It can get negated if you get a day to close above here, which isn't far away, but if you can close above 69 cents, then I will concede my bearish sentiment. I will say, and that's not that far away. It doesn't take much to do that, but at the moment you are rejecting the 50. If you were to turn around here or close the day here and then turn around, it would be a double rejection, kind of a double top on this RSI and around the 50. It wouldn't look good. Again, talking about how on the monthly, whenever I started this video, for anybody who's just tuning in, it looks like I got one person in the chat. You don't need to see the monthly coming onto the oversold zone. you know, that's not something that needs to happen. But on the weekly, on the daily, you know, like that's why the weekly looks like it could have bottomed. We went into the oversold zone here, but on the daily, it looks like we were making a move toward the oversold zone, but didn't quite get down there. And we don't have to, but it's just less common. You more commonly would see that kind of movement. And then looking at this trend line, this little thing right here, you did break out of that. You've broken out of your like temporary upward trend. It wouldn't be totally out of the norm to come back down like to where this daily close was, or this daily close, or even form some kind of a double bottom, although I wouldn't expect that this low gets taken out. The reason I'm talking about Matic, the reason I wanted to start this live stream with Matic is because I feel like it's a hot topic. I feel like I've seen a lot of videos on YouTube. Maybe you guys haven't, you know, like recently everybody's in their own kind of echo chambers, right? But I feel like Matic has been the topic of the day, so I'm weighing in on it myself. I do think it's a good investment. I do think Matic itself is going to do great things in the coming bull market. You know, bearish stuff aside for the short term, and where it goes in the short term. Before I move on to the bullish stuff, I would more expect. Let's see, from this top to this bottom, or bottom to top. I do that sometimes. We could bottom at 63 cents. We could bottom at 60 cents. We could find a low down here at 54 cents. You know, I say bottom, I'm sorry, we've already bottomed, but find a low somewhere down there. But until we break out of this lower low, lower high structure, the bias for me at least would be to the downside. Until we get oversold on the daily, I'm kind of waiting for that. And that's kind of how it is with most cryptos, you know. Yeah, it looks, to me, it looks a little bit on the bearish side. But let's see also, before we move on to the bullish stuff, one more thing I just want to see. You could move up a little bit from here, but rejecting this 236 like this and not really, I don't know, if you were to move up, maybe you go to 73 cents. I stand by at what I said originally. If you can close the day above 69 cents, which right now you're at 68.7, so if you can close the day above, technically it's 69.02 cents, then I would give it the green light to go to about 73 cents, maybe a little bit higher. It's totally common to actually wick above the 382. But I would expect something around here, maybe higher than that even. But at the moment, just because we're in a downtrend, I would more expect this 382, if not a direct turnaround from here. First things first, get a day. Don't just get above, but get a day to close above 69.02 cents, and then Matic, you know, I'll give it the green light in the short term. But ultimately, I very much would expect that we do see some kind of lower price action after that move, if it even comes at all. But let's look at the more bullish stuff, the more bullish sentiment on Matic here. Oh man, I don't even know. I wonder what the... What's up, Samuel? Yeah, we can do Pepe. I've been meaning to make a video on Pepe, man. We can definitely do some Pepe. Got a little juice here, sorry. Gotta mix it. All right. Let's see. But before that, before we start on Pepe, I want to talk about this little bullish potential rally that we could see for the bull market here. So let's see. From low to high. Nope, that was the wrong unit of measurement. There we go. From low to high here, Matic had an overall increase. It had a 462x. So if you had $1,000 in this thing, you would, at the bottom, at the very bottom, you would have made $462,000 just off of that. Doing good, Darius. How are you? Or is it Aria, Darius? Darius, Aria. I think it's Darius. Darius and Samuel. What's up, guys? And the other three people in this chat right now. So this thing does like to move up a lot. You know, we have a nice accumulation zone, and it moved up a lot. We don't have a whole lot of data. This is, to my knowledge, this is the most historical data for Matic. If we go on CoinGecko, right? CoinGecko here. Let's type it in, Matic. It's Polygon, Matic. It's the same. You know, they're one and the same. It used to be Polygon. It used to be Matic, and then I think they conjoined or something back in the day. I forget. Market cap at $6 billion. That's nice, and holding. It has been around for, yeah, since 2019. This chart goes back in 2019, so this is the all-time historical data. Sorry I'm eating, guys. I know it's unprofessional. I haven't had anything to eat today. What's up, RA Production? Peace, man. I learned that this is the right way to say peace. If you do this where some people are from, that might be a bad thing. I know I just flipped the bird a couple times there, but anyways, ultimately where this thing could go, if we're looking at the all-time high, the first all-time high on a monthly basis to the that's not the all-time low, but like the low from the before the initial pump here. That's not even in the bear market necessarily. You went up above the 2886 on this overall move. You kind of went maybe even to like the 3. If I had the 3 there, it'd probably be like right at the 3. But you did break above the 1618. You broke above the 2886. It doesn't look like there's a whole lot of respect on this fib, which I don't really like to see. That's not necessarily encouraging, but it's not a problem. It's just harder to make an accurate estimation. On this one, from top to bottom, you did go in that little sweet zone that I normally identify in most of my videos, which is you went between the 0.69 and the 0.618 there. You actually went a little bit above it even. We came all the way back down and found, man, maybe you don't go lower than this low. Bouncing off of that 236 like that, maybe you don't go lower than that low. But still, I would think that you come lower just a little bit. Maybe you bounce right off the 236 again, have a slightly higher low, a more relative like double bottom or something like that. But this I would expect a higher low just from this look alone. But where you could go, Matic, in this coming bull run, at a minimum, I would expect a 1272 to a 1618 extension. And if you were to do the same thing you did last time, which is pull a 2886 a little bit above that, Matic could see a 200x, 200, almost a 300x, you guys. Yeah, that's the math. Like that's a 290x right there, which would be insane from the current prices. If it was to go down, hello everybody. If it was to go down from here a little bit, that amount only increases. And let's see if that's even possible from a mathematics standpoint. So at about, let's just say 6.5 billion. If it was to 100x, that would be 600 billion. So maybe we don't see a 290 billion dollar or 290x. Maybe we don't see that. Something that's more, even a 100x for this thing, which would be right around the 2414, around $67 or $50, even that would be a little bit crazy in my opinion, because a $600 billion market cap would be a lot. That'd be a lot of money. So, maybe half of that is more achievable, maybe even like a quarter of that's more achievable, right? But probably does more than a 10x. It could even do greater than a 30x. That's totally possible, but I don't know. Anyways, I think I've said my piece on this thing. I kind of opened it up with this because it's a different coin. I don't normally talk about it. It deserves to be talked about. Anybody that's holding Matic, I think that this is a good asset to invest in. This isn't financial advice, but I definitely think it has a bright future. But we're going to move on to the next thing with Samuel. I don't know how to say your last name, man. I'm going to say Suk. There we go. Because I feel like if I say suck, that just maybe it is suck. I don't know. But anyways, I'm not trying to get hung up on that. Samuel Suk. We're going to talk about Pepe for you, my man. Pepe USD. I think, is it Poloniex that has the most historical? I think Poloniex does have the most historical data. Maybe it's KuCoin. Definitely not KuCoin. All right, so maybe it is Poloniex. Pepe USD. Where are you, Poloniex? There you are. Okay. So yeah, this has the most historical data. It is a low volume exchange, Poloniex, so don't take the exact price. Like this price right here, if I was to go to KuCoin, right, it's probably a different price, slightly different. Oh, I guess they're the same. KuCoin's kind of low exchange too, but Poloniex is a lot lower. Pepe is having a nice week, right? What's it up this week? It's up about 21% almost, so that's nice. You had your initial run up. This was your before Binance listing run up. This is when Binance and some other exchanges were probably buying Pepe so that they could sell it to us, to the retail investors, Literally look it up. It's no coincidence that this top here was the exact day that Binance released Pepe for trading. That's because, beforehand they want to buy it all up, and then whenever they sell it to their clientele, they want you guys to buy it very, very expensive. And, it's been going down ever since. And at the moment, we are going up. We technically are in a downtrend, but I don't know. This downtrend could be over. This is a higher low. We've yet to really see any higher highs, right, as far as that goes. I guess technically here, but this is on Poloniex. Let's see, Pepe. And I mean, overall, we still haven't seen a real higher high. I mean, kind of. I don't know. I don't feel, until we break the all-time highs, technically this is just another lower high. To some degree, but this downtrend might be over is what I'm trying to say. The daily RSI looks pretty good. Looks like it's showing strength. You came out of the oversold zone and you just went straight up. The last time you did this, when you got overbought, that was kind of when you started moving sideways and then down a little bit more. Where did you bottom here? Or where'd you find your low? let's see, from bottom to top there, right in that 618 to 0.69 area, man, right in that sweet spot. And you're coming up. Yeah, Pepe might be done going lower, guys. That might have been it. I definitely think Pepe has some bright things in store for its future too. I never bought any Pepe, but I've been a fan of it ever since I heard about it, man. And I heard about it back before this Binance pump, like back down here. I thought it would do well. I just, there wasn't any exchanges really for me to buy it on, so that's basically that. But you're going to miss all kinds of opportunities if you're not on the right exchanges. So that's just how it is sometimes, $592 million market cap. It is fully diluted. Gotta love it. 420 trillion, 690 billion. The creators of this coin clearly have some kind of sense of humor, right? And anyways, I think this thing has great potential. If it's at a 500, let's call it a $600 million market cap with an M, this thing probably has 100x potential in it in the coming bull market, and probably greater than that even. It could do multi-100x from its current price. Let alone, let's just see. I'll keep it on the weekly here. I don't know. I guess the daily's fine. That we can encompass all the stuff on the daily. I like to have a full chart. I don't like it to be empty. What's going on, everybody? See, we got some new people in the chat, and we lost some people. That's okay. From all-time high to this current low here, we are above the 236. We went below it, man. I do like, and then again, this is a retracement overall to the 618, 69 area. If and when we get above this 618, things get a little bit more real. I don't know if we pass it on the first pass. Maybe we get up into it and then we come back down, find support in this previous area where we found resistance, something like that, and then we go up. Maybe we do break through it on the first pass, find resistance between the 786 and the 886, and then come back down for support on the 618, something like that. But overall, when we can confirm a move that's above the 618 without us going back below it, it's going to be go time up to these extensions here. And where these extensions are from the current price, which right now we're up just under 5% on the day. It might have gone up like just barely since we started talking about it. But at a minimum, you're going to see a move that from this current price takes us up about like 438%, 440% to about 900%. That's anywhere from about a 5 to a 10x in probably a short amount of time. This thing likes to move up very fast. It's moving down rather methodically. I think that there is interest in this thing. Let's go to Pepe USDT on Binance. Just get this, because this is the all-time high. I would trust this all-time high more than I would the one on Poloniex, because this has more volume behind it. And again, from the current price on Binance, that's still, 385% to... Oh, up here, it's a little bit smaller of a projection. And that's why I think this is more important actually to use, because the Poloniex exchange has less volume, it has less liquidity, so it's easier to make those moves higher when you're at the top. There's less people involved, where here there's more people involved. It's harder to get through that sell wall, or maybe there's just, there's more people selling basically at the top. So, again, sorry I'm eating. I need to eat. But yeah, man, that's just the first stop too. I don't think that this by any means is going to be something that's by the end of the bull market. I think this is totally possible by the end of this year. When does it start? Is it starting right now? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. I am just kind of giving the bullish stuff right now. Let's look at the more, I don't know. Last time you got in the daily here, Elon Musk tweeted that he is out of memes and about to start posting nudes tomorrow. And I responded telling him that I would do the same if I could pay in Dogecoin. That's hilarious, man. Elon should do like a nude collection, and you can only buy them in Dogecoins. So then it's like nude NFTs. It'll up the price of Dogecoin, up the price of those NFTs, and then up the sex appeal for Elon Musk, or maybe lower it. Could get in Mark Zuckerberg's head before the big fight. I hear that I saw a post today talking about that actually, that Elon Musk, so it's going to be premiering on X.com and on Facebook, and they're gonna do it in Italy, and it's gonna be like gladiator themed or like ancient Roman themed. So it's kind of interesting, but it sounds about right for a couple of nerds. I love Elon Musk. I don't like Mark Zuckerberg so much, but I like Elon Musk a lot. Always have, man. Always have. Since I first heard about the guy, I've always liked the guy. He's different. He's weird. He's unique, but I definitely, I'm a believer in Elon Musk. So anyways, back to the main stuff. I don't think this is where it tops out. Where it tops out is going to be kind of hard to say. Again, I do expect this thing to be a 100xable coin. If it was to 100x from the current price, that would give us a price all the way. We're at 1, 2, 3, 4. We're at 5 zeros. Yeah, we're at 5 zeros right now. So that would give us a price, a 100x, man. We're just going all the way up here. A little bit higher than that, actually, right? A little bit. Around there. Right around there. 3 zeros, 141, something like that. That would be a 100x. And I do think we go higher than that even. The 3618 isn't too far away from there. This thing could, it really could do a 250x. It's totally possible that it could do that from the current price. And you know, that's just something I think to get excited about, maybe to like hold on to this thing for the long term, because it definitely has potential. It is a meme coin. Crazy things happen in crypto, but even crazier things happen with meme coins. It could do nothing. Maybe it breaks its all-time high and it does peter out over here, but I would expect these kind of more immediate extensions around the 1272, anywhere from like a 400% gain almost to a 780% gain almost, something like that, to happen probably by the end of this year. I think that very well could happen. You know, short of it going lower than this low. If it was to go lower than this low here, you get a day to close below 5 zeros 111, then maybe my opinion would change on that. At the moment, right? Let's see. From top to bottom here. Yeah, I do think it wants to go higher than it is right now, at least. You know, let's see how it interacts with the 618 area. That is the 618 to the 69 area. That sweet spot is right in the middle of that, the 382 is right in between those two in that zone there. So maybe we do see some turbulence there. That's totally normal, though. We could go up, find some resistance, come back down, even below the current price, and then continue to go up. That's totally fine. This thing does like to move up rather fast. The last time, and that's kind of the unfortunate thing about having a chart that doesn't have that much data on it. The only thing that we can really reference it to is this one time where it went to the overbought zone. The last time that it went overbought, that's when we started to move sideways and we kind of formed a topping formation. So do we continue to go higher? We're almost overbought now though, man. So I don't know if we have the steam to break out of these highs here and then form a higher high, come back down, find a low at the previous area of resistance. Maybe we do. I don't know. But all in all, it kind of does have this W shape to it, right? Kind of does. It's the beginning of the second leg if it is, and that would be a good thing. Generally, whenever you see W's, if it is to prevail, you're going to see it go bigger than the first leg here. So that would take us to new all-time highs. What's up, Andy? How you doing, man? Oh, hell yeah, man. We'll talk about the dragon today for sure. Right now we're talking about the frog, but we're gonna talk about the dragon for sure. What's up, brother? BCH, big love next week. What's your target 2024, 2025? I will let you know, my man. We can actually move on to that right now. Well, maybe after I give him more, I want to give a little bit more of an immediate, because I was going over the long-term stuff with Pepe. I want to go over the short-term stuff real quick. Yeah, the 4 hour, that's some bearish divergence right there. You got double bearish divergence. You are still overbought. You're rejecting going lower, which is kind of nice, right? You already had this bearish divergence, and you rejected getting out of the overbought zone. Volume is decreasing on Binance, so this is legit for sure. Seeing volume decrease as you're moving up is not encouraging, so maybe that bullish move that I'm talking about doesn't happen right now. We are, I think, getting set up for it, but we don't have to even go to the 618 from here, right? We could turn around right here, come back down to the 236. We could even go lower than this right now. And that bullish move, you know, up to the 1618 that I was talking about earlier, which I forget where that was. That was like a 400 to like a 780% move, something like that from the current price. That could still happen by the end of this year, even if we do go lower than this, but the likelihood of that might go down. You know, all in all, we are in kind of a downtrend right now. This is just a lower high. Even compared to this high over here, it is just a lower high. So previous area that we found resistance, previous area also that we found support. Maybe we do turn around here. That's totally possible. We've been going up for quite some time. It's like steady green days for like 6 days in a row now. You know, this chart doesn't have that much historical data, but that is the longest amount of time that Pepe has gone up without seeing some red. You know, it's not the biggest move, But I think that should say something too. You know, this is the longest amount of time. This is the most amount of green days you've had in a row, and all you've promoted was a 20% move, 36% move. Where in less time you've seen like 118%, which was more than double that, and even less time you saw 122%. You know what I mean? So. This might not be as good as I thought it was. Let's see on the 4-hour, at least for the immediate term. I still think it's good in the long term, but in the immediate term, the 4-hour RSI does look like trash at the moment. It is strong. It has a chance to prove itself. Really what you want to do is just keep building, but this decreasing volume is not encouraging. It really isn't. On the 1-hour, yeah, strong, resilient for sure, but it looks like it wants to come down. I would say it does look like it wants to come down. So where could it go from here? You know, let's put these fibs back on. I keep going all over the place. Maybe we go to the 236. That's 5 zeros, 1, 2. Maybe. Let's see if anything else lines up with that. The 618 and the 69 is kind of just below the 236. It's not uncommon to like wick below it, come back up and close above. We don't even have to hold the 236 as support. But you know, it's also possible that we could go lower than this low here even. That is actually possible. So maybe we do go lower, find some kind of a double bottom. The 1618 is right down here in this area. We'll see. Something to pay attention to. I wouldn't get too excited about Pepe now. If I was holding any, you know, I don't know if I would sell it. I might just buy more on the way down personally. Because, again, I wouldn't sell it because this thing can just run if it wants to run. But, Darius, brother, do you think that a Robinhood exchange will freeze all customers' money because of the SEC, file the case, and start the investigation about the meme stock that they sell? I don't think so, man. People have been going after Robinhood for a long time. Facts of the matter is they are a big exchange. They're a lot bigger of an exchange. I think I'm pretty sure they're a bigger exchange than Binance. And you know they're American. They're an American exchange. They're FDIC insured. They're very compliant and with everything that's going on. So, and Dogecoin isn't one of those coins. I think that, does Robinhood? Can someone tell me? Does Robinhood? Can you buy Pepe on Robinhood? Can I buy Pepe on Robinhood? In terms of asset listing Pepe, the major platforms are just yet to take the initiative. The two major platforms that are yet to take the initiative are Robinhood and Pepe. Okay, so they've yet to take the initiative, but they might be interested. So I don't think Vlad Tenev, I don't think that he's a dumb guy. I think that he will be compliant with the rules and the law. You know, if Pepe seems to be a coin that's not like SEC approved or whatever, he won't have it on there. I hear a lot of bad things about Robinhood. I've never been worried about myself on Robinhood, honestly. I live in Denver, Andy Overton. That's where I'm at. I'm from a small town in like northwest Colorado, but I moved here like a little less than a year ago with my family. It's just cheaper. It's a lot cheaper to live down here, and it's cool, close to everything. You know, whatever. Got a better paying job down here too, so that helps out. But anyways. To some degree, you do have hidden bearish divergence, right? This last peak here, you're above it, but you're well below it in price. Again, even this move right here, that was a 14% move in a day. The biggest move that you've had so far was 8.8% in a day, and with less volume too. So I do think this rolls over. I actually do think this rolls over. Ultimately, I am bullish on Pepe, but I do think it rolls over. And where it goes from here, I really am starting to think that we do see these extensions probably around 6097, right around the 1 area, right, where we bottomed before, or right around the 1618, 6087, something like that. Oh, hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. Denver's kind of southeast, right? Where in Colorado? Were you born in Pueblo? I wasn't born in Colorado, but I moved here whenever I was 5. I'm from Texas originally. But when people ask where I'm from, I say Colorado because it's my home. It's my home here, man. I identify with Coloradans more than I do with Texans. But I like Texans, man. If anybody's from Texas or you've never been to Texas, I don't know if it gets a bad rap. You know, I hear bad things. Oh yeah, I know where Lamar is, man. I actually got a good buddy. His dad's from Lamar. But they live back in Steamboat Springs. That's where I'm from, like originally. But I do think that we go lower. We probably find support like around this area or this area here. Maybe we do form some kind of a double bottom. But ultimately, guys, I think that Pepe is going to have great things for the future of this market. Pittsburgh, boom. One of my best friends is from Pittsburgh, man. He actually moved back there His last name is Whitey. So if you know any Whiteys out there, that's it's like Weide, like Whitey, but we call him Whitey, like he's white, you know. Anyways, enough about that stuff though. Right, we're getting on to some TA with BCH USD, talking about the Dragon itself. Let's see here. Let's see, who was it? I think it was Brykaz. Brykaz, the same guy that's from Pittsburgh, or girl. I think it's a guy, because Brykaz. I mean, Brian's a guy's name. I don't think it can be. I mean, maybe you could name. I don't know if you would name a girl Brian. Ryan, but not Brian. Anybody seen that video where they used to go to Holly on Sunday and buy beer? Kansas is dry. Oh yeah, yep. Man, that's I don't know if I know where Holly is. I've never heard of that, but there's a lot of small towns, you know, around here. But there's a Holly Street here. But have you guys seen that guy where it's like the bro C-Zar, you've been bearish about BCH every day for the past 2 months. You've been posting. I know, man. Not every day, Mr. J. Not every day. Let me, you know, like right here, I do want to pat myself on the back. I did this day here, and this day here. Basically all throughout these days, actually. I was saying, or maybe it was this day. This day I said we probably move sideways. This day was the day that I said we probably make a move up to about 240 to 250. And then when we had this move up here, I was like, maybe we move to 255. And we actually topped off right at 249.3. So I do want to say, I've been bearish, sure, in the ultimate things, but I did call this last move. I did not call this move. You know, I have been pretty predominantly bearish, you're right, but I don't know. Someone else, I forget who it was, but they said that I'm mega bearish. It might have been Cashies. Cashies, if you're watching this one, you might have been the one that said that. I wouldn't say I'm mega bearish, man. Mega bearish should be like Bitcoin Cash is like, doom, it's going to zero, new all-time lows. I think it's just having like a regular retracement. But yeah, man, I have been bearish. Kansas-Colorado border. Okay, hell yeah. That makes sense. It's probably, you know, there's a lot of like small towns right on the borders of like all states. That's just kind of how it is. I didn't know that Kansas was dry. That's crazy. Oh wait, it was dry on Sundays though, probably, right? I don't, because you can drink in Kansas, right? I'm pretty sure you can drink in Kansas. They don't. It's not like a dry state, but like maybe on Sundays. Let's talk about the Dragon. Let's get into it. Yeah. All right. We can start on the 15-minute time frame. We don't normally do that. Let's do it. Because we're going to talk about the more immediate term stuff. Because Bitcoin Cash has been going up. We went up to 230 not too long ago, right? This is 15-minute time frame, so like literally an hour or two ago, we were up at 230. Unfortunately, if you look at this, right, you can see the volume kind of looked like it was building, but you had most of your volume here on this downside. Volume was building to some degree, right? But then you had this top here, volume was decreasing dramatically. And from this peak over here to this peak over here, you do have some form of like bearish divergence, right? This is a little bit too spread out for me on a 15-minute time frame to call it that, but I don't know. You could draw straws if you want to. You can make the connections, draw the dots, connect the dots, whatever. I'll check out Kappa, man. I don't know. I don't have any thoughts on Kappa. We'll look at it, though. Again, I'm sorry I'm eating, guys. It's my first meal of the day. Anyways. Low to high here. If I was to be convinced that this move is done, that we're not going to move up anymore, and that this downside move that I've been projecting to happen is to continue or resume, let's get below the 236. Really, let's get below the 382. If we get below the 236, we'll be out of this kind of ascending range that we're in with the price on a shorter term time frame. Breaking out of it doesn't necessarily promote dramatic growth to the downside. We are only on the 15-minute time frame after all. But on the 1 hour, you can see we've kind of topped at a previous, like this area was resistance, this area was resistance, and it's resistance again. Kind of topping at that area. No bearish divergence, but you're not getting overbought. You're actually rejecting the overbought zone, which isn't encouraging to see. You did break out of this descending kind of like downward trend that you had, and maybe that's why we're seeing some moves up right now. But this doesn't look. This is a pretty wonky looking RSI, I would say. So I'm not too encouraged by this. And right now we're having a bearish engulfing candle, but it's not that big. It looks big on this chart, but look at the percentage. It's only 0.26%, so it's not that big. Any movement for the Dragon this week seems to have bottomed out. I think that it has a temporary low. I don't think it's bottomed out. I mean, I think it's bottomed out back at like $90 or whatever. But I don't know. Is there a Dragon coin? Or are you talking about how everyone's talking about the Dragon? Because if you're referring to that, in case you don't know, Jay, this is the Dragon. Bitcoin Cash is the Dragon. I think I looked at Dragon Coin or tried to find Dragon Coin, and I didn't see Dragon, Dragon King, Dragon Chain, Dragon Moon, Dragon Vein. Kind of rhymes. I think BCH bottomed. It might have, but let's see. Let's go. Hold on. Before we do that, let's go to the 4 hour. 4 hours starting to look bad too. RSI, you're kind of in this overall downtrend with the RSI, right? Maybe you broke out of it a little bit. I don't know. Still a lower high though. Still technically a downtrend. You broke out of that little like trend line area, but still kind of a downtrend. You did break above the 50, which is good. But you know you've broken above the 50 here and it didn't promote anything, right? And then you came back down to oversold zone. So we might be making our way down there. Who knows? The 1 hour and the 15-minute don't look good at the moment, but again, those are less significant time frames, so they won't promote significant moves. Right now, again, this candle looks kind of bearish, but all we are is down 0.26%, so it could definitely turn up. BCH might be the best buy. It very well could be the best buy. I definitely plan on buying some. You know, if this was the low, or if this was the low, I will happily buy some whenever we get a higher high. And not a higher high than this. I'd want to see a higher high than that, which unfortunately that's at like, for me, that would be 266.29. We're all the way down here at 230, so that would be about like 12% away, right, in price. Let's see. Top to there. Okay, 16%. My math was a little bit off. 16% away, but I would feel more safe and happier to buy up here than I would up here. I feel like I'm gambling up here where if we break that high, I know that we're on to bigger things. It can even drop from there. I can buy more and just know that we're probably done going lower, right? But at the moment, I still do think we're going lower. And the reason I think that is because all these, even though the 15-minute, the 1 hour are kind of bearish, the 4 hour, it's possible that it could be bullish. It's not completely bearish, right? The 4 hour is probably your best hope here. But the daily, we're resuming that bearishness again. You know, you've got this nice solid downtrend in the daily RSI. You didn't bounce off the oversold zone. You actually bounced in a place that would just be kind of inconvenient or unconventional, in my opinion. You can see any of these lows right before we like really started to go up. Like here, you were moving up, but the highest high that you had in this overall range was after you went oversold or like bounced off the oversold zone. Before you really had this move up, which that was our grandmaster move itself. We bounced off the oversold zone again. Back over here, if we look, you know, had a low point here, you were oversold. This was the low itself, you bounced off the oversold. Low point here, oversold zone. Low point here, oversold zone. It's not any time that we've bounced not from the oversold zone, and you could probably go back further than this, I'm not going to, but it's promoted a little bit of growth that was ultimately a lower high, and you didn't find your higher lows or lower lows or whatever until you hit the oversold zone. So we haven't done that yet. I do think that we do go lower. Looking at this too on a fib perspective, if we were to take top to bottom here, we did reject the 236 a couple times, which also with that red line, you can see this was a previous area of support. And we've kind of been doing that throughout this whole range, right? You have a previous area of support right here, and what'd you do? You found resistance on it, and then you went down. You had a previous area of support right here, what'd you do? You found resistance on it, and now we're going down. I do think we're on our way to making a lower low than this. After all, lower highs then promote lower lows. We just had our lower high. What's next to come? Probably a lower low. Though, if this was to be a higher low, that could be the start. That could be the very beginning. You know, I wouldn't buy off the higher low. I would buy off of the higher high personally. I do. I don't use the MACD that often, but you know, I've used it before. I'm familiar with it. We can look at it. I'll get rid of the long-term RSI, because that doesn't change too much. Let's see. Let's add it on there. For those of you that want to like know how to, I am not paid to talk about BCH. Nobody. If you guys want to pay me, we can set something up. But no, nobody pays me to talk about BCH. I just pay myself in attention, and entertainment. You know, it's definitely fun. But let's see. For anybody that wants to add the moving or the MACD, if you go to indicators, you go to technicals, You go to M's, it won't say MACD. It'll say moving average convergence divergence, MACD, MACD. And if you're looking at it, sorry, actually doesn't look half bad on a daily time frame. You've got some real bullish divergence here. And how you spot bullish divergence with the MACD is you look at the histogram. It's not this, right? Like you can see here, you're coming lower in the price, but this, the white stuff, the red line, it's like a pink line, not line, histogram, it's coming up. That's not how you spot divergence. You look for the solid colors here. So you got a low here, solid colors on the low here, but it's going up, it's ascending. That is bullish divergence. Yeah, yep, that is bullish divergence. And will that promote upside? It can, it definitely can, and normally it does. Can it promote downside? It could. You know, contrary to the let's see here, hold on. Any time frame where RSI has been reset. I don't know, Andy. What do you mean where the RSI has been reset? What do you mean? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to skip over that. 266 seems like a lifetime away. Am I a BCH whale? No, I am not a BCH whale. I'm sorry, I missed a lot of these guys. Let's see. Oh, I thought you were just talking about Dragon. No, man. So Jay, whenever one video I was talking about BCH and I was like, this thing's like a dragon, and if you go and chase dragons, they're gonna get burned. And then another video I was like, you know, they got the Link Marines, you got the XRP Army, you got the Bitcoin Maxis. Like, we should be the Bitcoin Cash Dragon Riders. So ever since, at least on this channel, we refer to it as the dragon, because it is a dragon, man. It's a behemoth. It's a beautiful green dragon when it wants to be, and it's an angry red dragon when it wants to be too. Although this is kind of a lazy red dragon at the moment. Can you do a video on CAS? I can, and we're also going to do Kappa before that. Any time frame where RSI has been reset. I don't understand what that means, but I'm sure you've clarified. RSI bottoms out and starts to move up. Any time frame where RSI has been reset. Oh, is there any I don't know. I mean, I guess yeah, on the 1 hour and the 4 hour technically, but those promote smaller moves. So this move could have been the move that like reset. Like if we go to the 4 hour real quick, getting away from the MACD there, you know, it reset here. I would say when you get to the oversold zone, that's kind of, you're getting this bullish divergence like you did here. I'm going to delete this fib. You definitely reset on the 4 hour right here, but that's when you went up, right? You have reset here to a certain degree, but I mean, maybe not. You know, this again, the 4 hour out of the 1 hour and the 15 minute is the only one that kind of looks like it has more upside potential in it. The 1 hour and the 15 minute look kind of bad. The daily, I don't think it has reset. The weekly, you know, I mean, technically here, right? You had your bullish divergence back over here, and all you're doing is forming higher lows in this. So even though you didn't find a low in the oversold zone, I would kind of consider that to be okay. But again, you know, it doesn't have to bounce. To put it, you know, back to that, it doesn't have to bounce off the oversold zone. You can bounce above it, but it's just not. It's not conventional. Like this is not conventional in my opinion. But whatever, you know, it was still good enough. You got the volume to back it up afterwards. But I actually don't right now, Jay. By the way, answering your question, am I a BCH whale? I don't own any BCH right now. I have buy orders set, but no, I'm not. I would think to be a whale, you would have to have like tens of millions of dollars, and I definitely don't have anything like that. So let's see, BCH smacks 13K. I'll be a millionaire. Long live crypto. I think, bro, you're gonna be a millionaire then. You really will be at the end of this market if you just hold on. Pin a BCH address so we can donate. Hey, I'll do that if you guys want to, but I'm not trying to ask for money, man. I don't like to ask people for money or anything like that. But I can pin an address if you guys want to. If not, no harm, no foul. But you request it, I will do that. I don't care. You know, I actually talked about this with my fiance because I do plan eventually to like start accepting tips and stuff like that. Any and all donations, tips, whatever, I will give back to charity. Literally every single one of them will go to charity. That's the plan with that. So anything you give to me, it is just going to go to charity. Just be aware of that, guys. Okay, because that's how I want to do it. Let's see. Pin a BCA. Let's see, bro. 1300. happening in a few months, maybe. I don't think we're gonna break 900 this year, let alone 1300. I don't think we will, but maybe. Starts to move up, bro. RSI ain't accurate. It can be accurate. It can be pretty accurate. You know, it called the bottom. You had you had bearish divergence. You had one, or right here you had double bullish divergence, not bearish divergence, double bullish divergence coming off of the lows here and at your lowest weekly close. You know, and then you went up from there. Ever since the RSI's been in an uptrend longer than the price action has actually been in an uptrend. You know what I mean? It tends to like prelude to that kind of stuff. Let's see. Will BCH be your biggest bag? Are you becoming are you some day trader? No, I tried day trading, man. I'm more of a swing. I'm not as good. If you haven't picked up on it already, guys, I'm not as good at the short term stuff, like the day to day stuff. I'm better at like the week to week, month to month, year to year stuff. I'm a lot better at that stuff than I am short term. I can be good at short term. I have bouts where I'm good at short term, but it's not the same, man. I don't know. Day trading. You guys are a different breed if you're a day trader. Let's see. What's the biggest bag when you make? Will BCH be your biggest bag when you make the purchase? It just depends. It depends. It might be. I know BCH you're holding after you make the purchase. My girlfriend thinks crypto is a scam, so I can't even. I luckily have a girl who does not think crypto is a scam. She sees it the same way I do. But my old boss used to think it was a scam, and I'd talk about it, and he literally made it a rule that we can't talk about it. You know, then I quit. And not because of that. I quit because I found a better job, and then crypto really did good things, and now we talk about crypto almost every time I see him. Well, maybe not every time I see him, but it comes up now, and he's okay with talking about it now. He didn't want to talk about it, I think, because he missed out on it, honestly. But okay, getting back to the stuff here, getting back to the TA. Hold on. Are you a BTC 4-year cycle guy? I am. To a certain degree, I would say so. I think that there are time cycles with this. We could be in the midst of a super cycle right now where we literally have like an 8-year period or longer than a 4-year period where we go up. You know, we could actually see a super cycle this time around. People have been saying that though for the last couple cycles, so maybe we don't. You know what I mean? I am a historical price movement guy. I like to see what price has done based around historical events. So if we look at, you know, any time Bitcoin has had its halving, you can see that for like a few months, sometimes like I would say around a few months, maybe even up to 8 months, price doesn't really do anything. No. It's probably like closer to a few months. I think it's like 1.5 to 3 months that price, once the halving happens, price doesn't do anything. If it moves up, it comes back down, just kind of moves sideways. And then we tend to have a bull market that precedes, or that precedes? It comes after the halving, and it lasts about anywhere from like 8 to 12 months or like 16 months or something like that. I forget. We can look at that actually. Do you think every bull cycle we will get, it'll be bigger every time? Maybe. For Bitcoin, maybe. I mean, every bull cycle is basically based around the halving. And, you know, just fundamental laws of economics would imply, right, you've got supply and demand. So let's say you have the same level of demand, okay? You have the same level of demand, but the supply is going down. Nobody else is coming into crypto, which I think year after year there's going to be more and more people getting into crypto. So the demand will only go up. But let's just say that the demand stays the same. Supply, mathematically, we know will get cut in half, the supply that's getting put into the market every 4 years. So with the same level of demand, the supply getting cut in half by what's being put into the market, price can only go up every 4 years or so. It can only go up. So I guess I would say that, yeah, there could be a cycle where we don't go higher. For Bitcoin though, man, I don't know if I believe that. I would kind of be surprised by that. There's some people calling for this to be a double top cycle. I don't know if it is. I really don't know if it is. I mean, maybe. It's possible. Anything's possible, but Bitcoin doesn't care, man. Bitcoin is not to be fucked with, that's for sure. XLM and Dogecoin long-term fib levels before you end the stream, please. You want to know the best indicator and chart setting that picks bottoms and tops? Perfect. I'll send it in the next message. Okay. Do you follow BCH fundamentals or just TA? I keep up with the BCH fundamentals and stuff. I keep up with like what the BCH crew is doing, but But I definitely am more of a TA guy. That's definitely more my style, more my speed. It's easier for me to understand, wrap my head around. But just to end this talk about BCH, you know, we're going to move on to some other cryptos too. But before we do, I want to pull up the MACD here on the weekly. Here on the weekly, you know, we could come down, and I got cut off. I'll go back to the daily in a second, but we could come down a little bit, right? We could see a red flash in the week before we turn up more. We could even come lower and not show a red flash. Like the price can go lower without that as well. Totally fine. Let's just see for like comparison. I don't know. Like here, you know, you went up and you didn't go lower than this low here, but you did have a red flash before you really started to turn up. And I think we could see something like that, right? I mean, here you were even going up in the price, and you're rolling over on the MACD a little bit. I don't know if there's like really good comparisons. This is kind of a unique move, but something I wanted to say with the daily, because there is bullish divergence on the MACD. There's one drive, 2 drives, 3 drives of bullish divergence on the MACD right now. But the bearish side of that, which a lot of people don't talk about, I feel like they only use the histograms. The bearish side of that is you did have your oscillators. That's what these lines are, right? They're the moving averages. You have your oscillators below the zero. They've broken below the zero, and generally when you break below the zero, that's a bad thing. And we just broke below them. In this month, so like in the beginning of this month. So I would think that this will promote further downside. Just because we have bullish divergence doesn't mean it has to play out. You know, this bullish divergence formed back here, right? This was your peak and the low right here, and we already went back up to that area. Technically, this bullish divergence has been fulfilled. It has played out. It doesn't need to go higher than this. And then right now, actually, we don't have 3 drives. This low right here is a higher low. So we can continue to build. This divergence can continue to build, or if we go down in price low enough, this red histogram can get bigger than this one and negate the bullish divergence all in all. I think that the fact that the oscillators have broken below this zero line here, that is a bearish inclination right there, personally. And again, just because we have bullish divergence doesn't mean we need to go up higher. Generally, the rule of thumb is if you move back to where the divergence formed, which was back right over here, right on this day right here, which we have done, price has gone back up there, then it's fulfilled. It's been met, you know. And overall, that was a move from bottom to top that was about 15%, something like that. So that's fulfilled. We're not dealing with big price ranges here, so it's not going to have like a huge demotion. And talking about, I forget who it was, if it was Jay or Andy that was saying that the RSI isn't accurate. You didn't get bearish divergence on the MACD on the daily, but you did get it on the daily with the RSI. So I think used together they can be good. I just don't like the MACD I mean, I like it, but I don't like to. I feel like I'm better with the RSI than I am with the MACD. So with that, I mean, we can leave the MACD on for the rest of this video, though, to be fair. I do think BCH is going lower for anybody tuning in who's not with the program. It looks like we got the same crew, though, all 7 of us here. From low to high, I do think that BCH goes at least to this 200 level, but more likely it probably will come down to around this 0.5 or lower. You know, we'll see a bottom or a low probably somewhere in between all these, like this bubble, in that bubble there. Between 180, 185, something like that, to like 135. And I think we're getting to the exciting part where it's going to just drop really, really hard. And then when it drops hard, it doesn't mean that it's go time yet. It could, but maybe we drop hard and then we continue to bleed a little bit. Here, you know, you took a kind of more immediate drop down. Here, you had a big drop, and then you went up. Here, I don't know, big drop. Like back here, you had a big drop, right? And then you continue to bleed down a little bit like that. That's kind of what I'm expecting at the moment, but I don't know. The last few of them have been just drop pretty dramatically and then pump up pretty dramatically, and then you don't bleed lower afterwards. So who knows really what happens? But I think that we're good. We can move on from that. Let's just see. Do you follow BCA? Are you going as a... You know what, man? For Halloween, probably a green dragon. I'm probably going as a green dragon for Halloween, honestly. RCI 3 lines chart settings, put on Renko, change it from bars. Time frame put in weekly, boom. Secret charts, picks tops and bottoms clean. Hey, did you ever cover XLM already? No, I didn't. Brycaz, I'm going to try and input that, but first let's do some TA on, let's do Kappa, and then we'll move on to XLM and Dogecoin. Actually, I think there was another one. Kappa, Kaz, was it? K-A-Z, I think. I'm trying to find it. I think it was Kaz. Yeah, K-A-S. Okay, Jet Wash Ben. We'll do. Oh, can I do a video on Cass? I'll do a video on Cass. Maybe we don't have to talk about it in the live stream, but we can. I'll see. You know, maybe we'll talk about it. But I could do a video on it. Someone said Kappa, right? Is Kappa K-A-P-P-A? Let me see here. Have 500 BCH. Caspa. What do I think about Kappa? Caspa. Oh, okay, Caspa. Okay. So it is the same thing. I'm sorry. Caspa is Kaz. Okay, cool. So that knocks out 2 birds with 1 stone there. I didn't even have 2 birds. I thought that there were 2 birds, but it was just 1 this whole time. Caspa. Let's see. What's the... Okay, so we got a lot more historical data than that. Let's see. What other chart would it be on? I don't know, man. Not on KuCoin. Not on Gate. I don't know. Maybe we'll just use crypto. We'll just have to use this. I don't normally like to use this because the wicks can be out of place, but I want to go with the long-term analysis first, right? So looking at this thing, looks like a nice solid uptrend, man. Since the bear market started, this thing's actually had a bull market. What the hell? How have I never heard about this thing? Let's type it in. Oh, nope, I don't want to go ad-free. I'm sorry. K-A-S, Caspa, number 49. I don't know how I've never heard about this before. Kaz, man. K-A-S-U-S-D-T. It's not K-N-C. It's not Clay. It's Cas. Right? Yeah, okay, whatever. Oh, you know what? That one has pretty good data too. We'll probably move on to KuCoin after this just to be more accurate, but on a weekly basis here, this thing has been bullish since birth. From top to bottom here, you went all the way up to the 2618, very nice. Came down to the 1272, bottom there, very nice, man. Now you're up above the 2886. I do bet you get into the threes, probably up around here. I don't think this is the top, though it could be. Top to bottom here, that measurement, moving on to this fib. Yeah, man, I think you do go up higher. I don't think that it's done yet. I don't think that this was your top, your momentary top by any means. Yeah, RSI looks very strong on the weekly, man. I don't know. I'm a little upset that I've never heard about this thing. Because, wow, very impressive chart. Definitely an impressive chart for sure. Building momentum on the MACD still, which looks good. You're well above the 0, man. Let's see. Let's go to the daily and just check this thing out. Double top here, whatever. But you're kind of playing that off in the price already. You had a bullish engulfing candle, and now you came down and you can't break that like this. It looks good, man. It really does look good. Strong daily and a strong weekly RSI for sure. This thing, maybe it goes a little bit lower in the meantime, but I don't think you go lower than this low. I think you will have a higher low overall. So let's just see, low to high here. You know, maybe go to 3.8, 3.9 cents, 3.7 cents, something like that, and then continue to build higher. What's it been doing? Let's just see here. From, I guess we can do this one, sure. Bottom to top, you went right into that sweet spot. I'm going to get rid of the indicators real quick so it's easier to see. Right in that sweet spot, actually a little bit below it, below the 0.69 there. From bottom to top here, I mean, you went to the 382 there, which is kind of nice to see, but let's just see. A little bit below the 382 on that more immediate move. And then here, up here, bottom to top, you did go a little bit above the 382, and then bottom to top here, you went a little bit below it. So maybe you don't go lower than this low actually. Maybe that is the low and you continue to go higher just based off of how it's been acting. What I don't like about crypto, and this is where we're going to use the KuCoin chart so that we have some volume. Volume's dying off a little bit, but I don't know. It's kind of not. Like from the spikes, it looks like it's dying off, but if you look at the histogram itself, which is this green thing, it is building. It is building, right? You can see that this is coming up. So on average, you're building up. On the spikes, you're not. So kind of hard to say. I kind of like it though. I kind of do like it. On a 4-hour time frame, looks like you're battling this 0 line. You're coming up to it. Maybe you find resistance on it. You could go lower. If you were to go lower, I would say that if you go lower than this, then you might be done actually moving up if you were to go lower than this, because then you're going to break out of this kind of trend upwards, which wouldn't be encouraging. At the moment, though, I think that it prevails. I think you do hold it. This is where having the long-term RSI would be nice to just know. I can quickly do this just here maybe. Let's do 1, 2, 3. You're above the 50. Yeah, man, it looks good. I think it looks good. I don't think it goes lower. I think that it looks good. Personally, let's see here. Go to the, yeah, let's see. 10, yeah, bounce off that purple line. Have you done it before? You've shown resistance on it before, support on it back here, support on it right there, resistance on it right there. It definitely respects this purple line. So I think, man, I really do think, generally I would think coming down like this might be bearish, but you're not hugging it, you're bouncing off of it. So I think it wants more. I think it wants more. I really do. In a very short amount of time too. Like within the coming weeks, by the end of the month, you're going to be up in this 5 to 6 cent range, and you're at 4 cents right now. So 50% pump coming your, well, maybe not a 50% pump. Let's see, how much is that from the current price? Anywhere from a 25 to a 36% pump, something like that. But you could go higher. How we were measuring the retracements, let's look at the extensions now. From top to bottom here, you went up to the 1886. From top to bottom here, you went up to above the 1886 again. And top to bottom here, you went up to the 1618. So you are having deeper extensions, which is nice to see. Man, look at, it's beautiful. You bounce off the 886, very classic behavior to kind of come up, find support on the 886, and then continue. This I think it wants to go more, man. So that's my opinion on that, Jet Wash. That's for you, my man. Let's see. I missed out a couple of comments here. Let me see here. No, we're going to talk about XLM right now, Matt. If you're still here, we're going to talk about it. XLM and Dogecoin, right? Who was it? Maybe I'm missing the comment. Where is it? Did you cover XLM already? Where is it? XLM and Dogecoin long-term fib levels before you end the stream, please. We're going to do that right now, RA production. Thanks, Andy. I appreciate you, man. I don't know if you're still here, but thank you. BTC on the secret charts picks it perfect. Okay, hell yeah, man. Thank you for sharing your secrets, man. I'm definitely going to do that after we do our TA on this. Later, Brycast. Appreciate you, man. Load your crypto bags for 2024 and 2025. Yeah, man, definitely. 2023 is the year they want to scare you out of your bag. Shut the news off and let the truth and the charts do its thing. That's Brycast's words. I wish they were my own, because those are some good words right there, man. I definitely agree with that. And I think that we've yet to see the stuff that really scares people. There's a lot of people that are still hopeful. So whenever things get a little bit more scary, unfortunately, when most people are prepared to like leave the market, that's when things will get exciting, probably. Unfortunately, that's just how it goes. But Anup Kadka, we will do Aave. We'll definitely do Aave. But first, XLM USD, and you wanted to see the long-term, let's see, who was it? RA production, you want to see the long-term fib levels for these things, right? Let's go on Coinbase for XLM. I know that it has a lot of historical data, so that's good for long-term fib levels. Looking at this thing on a monthly, beautiful chart, by the way. OG chart came back, from way back in the day. Nice accumulation zone and accumulation phase, then all the way up, man. You had higher lows all the way up as you continue to do. Sure, you had a lower high here. It's kind of a double top area, but really what you're in is like, this is an overall kind of consolidation phase from this original like upward move, and it's a very big phase, but ultimately when we break above it, I think we're going to see a move just like this, where like literally you could see a move up to $12, which being worth about 14 cents right now, that's a near 100x. Is XLM 100xable? I think it is. If we go to XLM, Stellar Lumens here, number 23, it is a $3.8 billion market cap. A 100x would make it 380 billion, which is very high, don't get me wrong, but this is an OG coin. It's been around, it's safe, it's proven, it's tested. This, if there was any kind of asset that is deserving of that kind of market cap, XLM would be one of them for sure. So is it 100xable from here? I definitely think it is. Looking at the long-term fibs, because that's what really brought us here, right? From this top to this bottom here, for this cycle, I would expect that we see a top anywhere from about $1.54 to $3.50, right? Maybe even to $6.86. That's possible as well. If we look at what it's done in the past, maybe from this top to this low here, you went well above the 2886. So maybe you do have a deeper extension. I don't know. I don't know if you go to $77 though. Maybe you go to like the 2272. Let's see. Maybe from top to bottom here. Let's see. You went above the 186 and you topped off right below the 2272. So yeah, that would line up with that kind of 100x area. 3618's up there too. It could see a price all the way up at $20. It definitely could, or at least above $15. That's totally possible. Let's see here. From that top to that bottom, again up at that 1886 area, and you came down and bounced off the 0.5 area, kind of. I don't know if I like this fib as much. That's okay though. Looking at it, I don't know which one to take, Mr. RA Production. I don't know if it's this fib to measure or if it's this fib to measure. This one, you know, would give you a larger range up. Your minimum would be $2.50 ish, and your maximum would be around $8 or so, and with the potential to go higher even than that, you know. And then here, this would be your more conservative estimates. It's really hard to say. So what I would throw in mind, what I would want to pay attention to is the 618 of both of these ranges. Let's see which one it respects more. And yeah, fortunately enough, they are at different levels. So this 618 for the overall range, the bigger range, is 27 cents. The more immediate one, the more relative one, which would be the one I would expect it to respect, is around 31.6 cents. So let's just see how it interacts. You know, it might interact with both of them. You know, both these fibs could be relative. They do. Look at that, man. Wow. 1618 lines up right with this 1414. The 1272 lines up with this 1414. 24, I don't know if you go up that high, but I mean, there's definitely some symmetry in these lines, at least for their extensions. So the 382 is right there with the 236. What does XLM do in the short term? Let's see. Monthly looks good. Monthly looks good on the RSI and on the MACD. You know, you could go lower. You definitely could go lower on this MACD here and on the RSI. You are above the zeros, which is nice to see. Maybe you come back down and you kind of pinch these lines a little bit, which would imply further downside. If we were to take from a fib here to this is a more immediate fib on the XLM chart. By the way, I want to toot my horn on this one. I called the top on this one. Whenever we were up here on that day for XLM and XRP, I was like, that's the top. I even called this secondary pump. I said that it probably won't be this week, but next week that we come back up. I literally said it was like this day here. I said we might move sideways, and then sometime next week we will go back up to around, I think I said around 17 cents, and it went up to 18 cents. But I haven't made too many videos on it since. Correct me if I'm wrong. You guys can go back and check the videos. They're there if you really want to do your research, but I'm fairly positive that's what I said. Very neutral RSI. Very neutral RSI. Kind of have hidden bullish divergence, which is nice to see. XLM doesn't have to go lower. It might not. It might not go low. I don't know. If and when you break below 13.6 cents, that's when I would start to think that you do go lower, probably down to around this like 10 cent to 11 cent area. That would be my presumption at the moment. Let's see, from low to high here, 1272 to 1618 is kind of in that area too. So maybe. Yeah, if we take this more immediate fib, actually, you can see you're actually finding resistance on the 618. You came up, you found support on it, double tapped this 236 once over here, twice over here, and now you're below the 618 finding resistance. I do think that you see something between 11 and like 10 cents as a low for this thing. I do think that you go lower. And, you know, again, kind of a bearish tilt, but a more neutral RSI. This thing, if it starts to roll over, you probably get to that oversold zone, and that's where you'll see these bigger moves to the downside happen. On a 4-hour time frame, hidden bearish divergence is what you have, right? And you're actually getting a bearish engulfing candle potentially over the next 2 hours and 47 minutes to end the week, by the way, which is a bearish looking week. I do think XLM wants to go lower. That's I'll leave it there. I think it does want to go lower. Probably to this area where we had weekly closing highs before. Let's go. Let's see on the comments here. Okay, no new comments. That's cool. We're going to talk about Doge now because that was another one that was requested. Doge on... We want to do the long-term stuff, so we'll do Bittrex. And I talk about these. I talk about this all the time. I can already tell you that the 618 for the long-term, the 1618 is going to be at $3.94. From this top to this bottom here, if Dogecoin hasn't bottomed, that's where it'll be. That would be around, and I think that XLM has bottomed. I don't think Doge has. That would put this 1618 around 394, the 1272 at 154. And right now we have rejected the 382. We're rejecting the 236, finding resistance on it. We do have support on the 0.069, which is kind of encouraging, to be fair. That's your last line of hope. If you break below about 6 cents, really like closer to 5.9 cents, I think that you are going to go down. And where do you go? Where do you go, Dogecoin? Probably you'll go to this 1272 or 1618 area to the downside, between 3.6 cents, let's just say, to 2.4 cents, or a little bit lower than that even. You could go to the 1886. Yes, you could break below this previous all-time high. That is totally possible. We've done it before. We had an all-time high here, We broke above it, broke below it, broke above it, broke below it again, right? I don't think that Dogecoin is going to zero. I do think that we're in this overall kind of macro, beautiful bull phase. I actually made, for those of you who didn't see it, you should check out my video on Dogecoin that I made yesterday. Just comparing it to Bitcoin and like where Dogecoin is in the cycle, and talking about how it doesn't need a lot of time to pump. I think that Dogecoin, have you been tempted to buy any SHIB? Not really, honestly, no. I think SHIB, no offense to SHIB and the Shibanites, I think that it's going to underperform a lot of people's expectations of it. I think it has a good bull market, but it might be one of those coins that actually has a lower high overall. And it's let's see. I don't know if that's the right chart to use. We'll go on crypto, sure. Oh, that is the right chart to use. Okay, cool. Where, you know, from the all-time high was up here, and the reason I say that, man, is because the one bout of bullishness that Shiba had was just that 1 month. It was just these 4 weeks here, right? And ever since, it really hasn't done much with that. And there was a lot of volume on it, don't get me wrong. There just hasn't been any interest now. So can Shiba go lower? I do, just like Dogecoin, I do expect it to go lower. And let's just say, you know, let's say it goes lower than this, but you were to have a buy order right at this all-time low, right? Or not all-time low. I guess it's near the all-time low. I think you're going to set new all-time lows, but you know, going up to the all-time high would be a 16x. I think that Shiba has a 10x in it, potentially even less than that. You know, maybe it does break above its all-time highs, but right now Shiba, which is, by the way, it's just a wannabe Dogecoin. That's really all it is. I'm not trying to hate on it. You know, maybe I just don't understand it. But 6.17 billion. I'd love to see this thing go and be worth 600 billion. You know, I would love to see it make a lot of people money who are degenning into meme coins. I would love to see it. You know, that's always great to see, but I don't think it does. I really don't think it does. And I don't know too much about it. Let's see, tokenomics new, if there's anything in here. Shiba allocation, Vitalik Buterin, Uniswap liquidity. Okay, so that's old, right? The initial distribution of Shiba is as following: 50-50. But I don't believe that. Like, how can that be true? How can that be true? Because didn't Shiba have, like, is this a lie? Are they lying to us? Because didn't Shiba have like a really big token burn at some point during the last bull market, or during like some phase in the bear, at the beginning of the bear? I swear Shiba didn't it. Correct me if I'm wrong, RA. Can you tell me if you know, or if anybody knows here? There's a lot of hype on YouTube around Shibarium burning trillions. Shibarium might be burning trillions. I don't know. Is Shibarium a new coin? It's probably a new coin. I know Vitalik sold all of his on the open market, but the guy Ryoshi, right? That's his name, right? Like a wannabe Satoshi making a wannabe Dogecoin. Didn't he burn a lot of Shiba coins? And if that's the case, then the SHIB allocation is a lie, because how can the initial allocation be Vitalik Buterin? How can this initial allocation be 50-50 with Uniswap? That would mean that the guy that created it, Ryoshi, would have had to buy coins and then burn them. He would literally be burning money. Versus like if he had some locked up and then burned them, they were just in an account that he never had to buy. He just burned them like that. I'm kind of curious if anybody knows if I'm wrong on that, but I swear I remember Shiba had a burn at some point, which would mean that this is a lie, which means that I kind of like this thing even less than I did before, actually, because I don't like liars. But I might be wrong. I can definitely be wrong on that, but it's not. See, look at this though. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean that the Shiba allocation is 50-50? How if it's not fully diluted? It's not fully diluted. What do you mean? There's some coins locked up somehow, some way. This is misleading, man. I don't know, or maybe I'm just misunderstanding it, but I don't. I personally don't like it. I actually like Shiba less than I ever have in my entire life now. Um, yeah, I really don't. I'm not a fan of that. How can you say 50% of it was given to Vitalik Buterin, who did sell it? He did sell it on the open market. He dumped it, man. He really did. He was I think he's the reason that it dumped right down here, right? And then Shiba like really took off afterwards. But how can you say 50 of it was given to Vitalik Buterin and then 50 of it was on Uniswap liquidity, which means that all of it is pushed out? How can you say this if this exists, if it's not fully diluted? That doesn't make any sense. That really doesn't make any sense. Unless I'm missing something, man. Unless that's from the token burn. But again, why would you burn tokens if 50% of them were allocated to the liquidity? That would mean you have to buy them, and you'd literally be burning your own money on an asset that has a multi-billion-dollar market cap. So I like this thing even less than before, man. It might just be a giant scam, a giant Ponzi. I don't know. No offense to the Shibanites out there. I'm not trying to talk crap, but I very well could just be not understanding. But yeah, lower lows, lower highs overall. I think that it is set to have new all-time lows. There's no volume coming in on Binance, on the Tether pairing. This is the biggest volume setup in the world for the biggest volume exchange in the world for crypto. So this is definitely legitimate readings in volume. There's no interest down here. You have descending highs with a flat base, and it's kind of, it's a lower low base actually. The RSI is showing strength right now, but really what you have is hidden. You have a peak here, higher peak here, where that peak came from, lower peak here. That's hidden bearish divergence. You have the same thing on the MACD. You have hidden bearish divergence here. You're below the zeros. I think this thing wants to go down, man. I do think it wants to go down. How far down does it go? I don't know. Let's see. Bounced off the 1272 there. Now you're up here. I bet you want to see this 1618, if not lower, at the least this 1618, which from the current price would be, I would say at the least actually a double bottom right here, okay? Which would be at least like a 46% drop from here, but maybe potentially a 61% drop or more. I'm staying away from Shiba. I'm not investing in it personally. If anybody made money on this thing or makes money on this thing, good for you. I'm happy for you. That's great, but I'm getting bad vibes the more that I even think about it. Actually, unless this isn't like this is a lie itself, and like the person that posted this just was mistaken. But if this is from the white paper, which I don't know, I want to look into it now, man. Shiba Inu white paper, not white puppy, white paper. Whitepaper.io, sure. .io. Will it tell me? Will it not tell me? Read white paper. If I can. Come on now. Shiba Inu white paper. Introduction. We are an experiment in decentralized spontaneous community building. I want to read the tokenomics. Why decentralization, right? Cool. It's good to be decentralized for sure. Ryoshi, whoever that guy is. Want to be Satoshi. That's who he is. Our background. We all want to be Satoshi, don't we? I'd love to have 1 million Bitcoins locked up. We started from zero with zero, and it's the spirit of the project, create nothing. We are founded from an existing community, reassembled. We love Shiba Inu dogs. 1,200,000 followers. Okay, why ETH? Rescue with Amazon. Why ETH? I don't know. Most scams happen on ETH, so why ETH indeed. Our founder also chose to send 50% of the supply to Vitalik Buterin's wallet. And in his words, we sent over 50% of the supply to Vitalik. There is no greatness without vulnerable point. As long as VB doesn't rug us, which he did, then Shiba will grow and survive. And he rugged us, but it still grew, and it did well. But let's see here. I think he gave all that money to charity or something, right? Let's see. Vision of Shiba Swap. Starting tokenomics of Shiba Swap. I don't know. I don't know, man. Okay, yeah, right here. Shiba Swap, Sheebs will dig for bones or even bury their tokens the best. So for bones, not for sheep, but for bones. Because I've heard about bones. When you buy or stake tokens, liquidity pars. It's not saying it on here. Okay, tokenomics. Here we go. Shiba Inu. After we finished minting 1 quadrillion tokens, we put half into Uniswap and threw away the keys. We put half into Uniswap and then threw away the keys. Then the remaining 50% was burned with Vitalik. So how can you say that's a lie? That's a lie. That is a straight up, that is a bold-faced lie, right? I mean, am I wrong? Guys, I might have just discovered something about Shiba here. I could be wrong, man. Maybe I'm talking about what like things that I don't know. Let's see. Shiba Inu. After minting 1 quadrillion tokens, which that is almost 1 quadrillion tokens there, right? You're telling me that you put half of them with Vitalik Buterin and half of them into Uniswap? That doesn't, but at the same time it's not circulating. We don't have a fully circulating, so that doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any. I call bullshit Shiba Inu. I call scam. I never thought that this thing was a scam, man. I thought it was just a wannabe coin that would end up being nothing eventually, but I call bullshit, man. I really do. Sorry, guys. Good job scalping Shiba, RA Production. I would stay away from this one, guys. Anybody that holds Shiba, like, how does nobody know about this? Am I wrong? Like, am I just dumb? Am I missing something? We earned the nickname Dogecoin Killer. No, you gave yourself. It's in your white paper. What do you mean you earned the nickname? You literally, are you kidding me? You put it in your white paper. You didn't earn it. You made it up. We recognize around the world, potentially even by Elon Musk. No, Elon Musk did not. He bought a Shiba Inu for Dogecoin, which is the original Shiba Inu, man. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just wrong, man. But I don't. Something smells fishy. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be missing something. Like, how can you have a DAO? How can you, right? Let me just see. Shiba burned self-voluntarily into Shiba contracts, 240 billion of it, but you printed off 1 billion of them. Like, is that why that the circulating supply is that low? Is that what it is? Like, maybe the total supply was this, and then a lot of it got burned. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe I'm missing that. Right? That would make sense. Okay, so maybe it's not total bullshit. I'm sorry, guys. I got on one there. Shiba burned self-voluntarily. Yeah. Does all that add up, though? Burned by Wallet V. That is 100,000, 100 million. That's billion. 410. How much? Let's see. Let's see here. 410 billion. Let's say 450 billion. 640 billion. I don't know. That's not even a trillion, right? That's not even a trillion. So that math doesn't add up still. That math still wouldn't add up, man, with all these burns here. Because you have 8, let's just say 9 billion, right? Plus, oh, that's trillion. Okay, that isn't billion, that is trillion. Okay, so the math does add up. So that's where it is. I'm sorry, guys, I'm wrong. I literally just went on a whole tangent trying to pull the rug out from everybody's eyes on Shiba, but I take it back. I'm sorry. If I could delete the last like 15 minutes of this video, I would, but that's probably why the circulating supply is so low. It says that the total supply is this, but I think that's just because that's what it initially came out as, and then now those coins are gone forever. So that's why the circulating supply is this. So I'm sorry. I was wrong. I'm sorry, Shiba Inu. You weren't lying to us after all. If you made it this far, you know that. If you didn't, I've given you some bad information, and I'm sorry. I don't know how I'll clarify that. Maybe I'll leave it in the description, but let's see here. Let's see. Put $900 to work on a Shiba short. Maybe, man, honestly. Have you looked on the Jesus coin chart? I will look at it. They claim that Vitalik burnt what he was given. I'm pretty sure he sold it. I'm pretty sure he sold it, actually. What did Vitalik, like, for charity, Buterin do with Shiba? Shiba Inu's creator, Buterin, oh, burned or permanently destroyed. No, you're right. Wow. He just burned it and donated the remaining tokens. Okay, so he burned about 90% of them, and then he did donate the rest of them. Okay, that's what happened. All right. Wow. That's insane. That's kind of cool. he didn't rug pull the project. He actually he burned the tokens, which is better for the overall market cap, or maybe not the market cap, but the scarcity of it. That's kind of cool. All right, I didn't know that. Thank you for educating me. Let's see here. Have you looked? And they say they claim that, right? You're right. They claim that. I think that he did. I believe that he did. I don't think Vitalik's a liar, or I mean, I haven't caught him lying. He seems to do what he sets out to do. Looked at Jesus Coin. Let's look at Jesus Coin. Let's talk about it. Overall, though, guys, going back to Doge before we go on to Jesus, I do think that Doge goes a little bit lower. I think that we could see a low again. If you remember what I was saying before, I went on that whole Shiba rant right there. That Doge will probably go anywhere from about like 3.6 to like 2.9 cents, something like that. That's where I expect it to go. I don't think that it's going higher. I mean, if it goes higher from here, I doubt that it breaks this high over here. Definitely doubt that it breaks this high. I very much recommend anybody to watch my Dogecoin video comparing it to Bitcoin, and then Bitcoin versus US dollar versus Dogecoin versus the US dollar. That video is, I think it's a unique perspective, and it's highly informative on how long it can take Dogecoin to do its thing. The bull market can be well over halfway through, and Dogecoin can still be at these prices, and it'll be fine. Okay, so don't. It's good to be excited about Dogecoin, but don't be too eager, right? It doesn't normally pump like it with the rest of the market. It kind of lags behind and then it pumps. So I really recommend watching that if you guys want to learn more about Dogecoin, and at least what my opinion is on it. We are going to check out Jesus Coin. See, we're going to do that right now, my man. Jesus. And I got 12 people on here. How's it going, everybody? I think that's the most people I've ever had. History is being made. Anyways, looking at the daily here. Looking at the daily. Yeah, man. Doing some of the more of the same stuff, man. This is beautiful. I think yesterday, or no, it was like 2 days ago that we caught this literally at the bottom, and I was like, it's probably a good time to buy. And then halfway through the video, it came back up, and it was, instead of it being down 33%, it was down like 18%. We're just doing the same stuff. We're wicking down. We're slowly building up. I think it bottomed, man. I really do think it bottomed. What we're missing is volume. That's it. We're just missing volume, but I think most of this coin is traded on Uniswap anyways. So, you know, maybe the volume's there. I don't know. I don't know if that's the right coin, actually. Jesus. Maybe it is. I don't know. I don't know. Jesus Coin. Is it Jesus Coin or just... It is Jesus Coin. So, wrapped ETH. Not a whole lot of volume on Uniswap either. And that's okay. Whatever. On the wrapped ETH pair, it's not doing as much. But again, this is versus Ethereum, not versus the dollar. So if Ethereum's going up in value, it might just stay the same, right? Or if it's going down in value and Jesus is going up, it might just stay the same. Let's see what ETH is doing. Yeah, ETH is kind of gone up a little bit, but it's just moving sideways too. So I don't know. Jesus on the US dollar pair on Poloniex. I think it's bottomed, man. I think it looks like it's bottomed, at least, you know, from this. This is a very small chart. It's hard to do accurate TA without a whole lot of information. Oh, you do have a double top right here on the 50. Last time you rejected the 50 was over here, and that sent us down to all-time lows. We could go lower. It's possible, you know, and that's why I tell people if you're to buy this thing, just put like a very small amount into it. I wouldn't recommend betting the farm by any means, but if it goes lower than these lows, man, I doubt that it stays there for too long. I really do. I think that this thing could have some good potential in the future for it. Apparently 80% of the supply is supposed to be burned on Christmas Day of this year from the founder. That sounds like some big stuff, but I don't know. After seeing that stuff with Shiba, you can see large amounts being burned, that's for sure. I want to take the time again, guys, and apologize for any kind of confusions or misleading information I might have put out on that. I really did think that the math wasn't adding up, but whenever I saw the burns here and did the math, and by the way, I did it incorrectly. That was trillion. I did it first with that, thinking that was billions, but that's where most of it came from. By Vitalik Buterin, right? There we go. So yeah, the math adds up in my opinion. I think this thing, I give it back its legitimacy. Not that it matters for me, you know, but I don't know. I don't know if Shiba does good things still, you know what I mean? I think it has a good bull market. I think it has 10x potential in it, but I don't know if it breaks its all-time high. It might, but I don't know. I think there's only room enough for one dog in this market, and I think that's Dogecoin personally. But Shiba did overthrow Dogecoin for a little bit there. It did have a higher market cap than Dogecoin. XRP has had a higher market cap than Ethereum before, and now look at Ethereum. You know what I mean? So that doesn't necessarily mean the downfall of Doge or anything like that. But with Jesus Coin more specifically, looking at it, I kind of would anticipate that any move down is probably just a good time to buy, and we are probably going to make a move above this all-time high at any given point now, probably by the end of the year. And from the current price, which can, let's put it at the tops, because I feel like if you were to buy $10 of this thing, it would send it back to the top, because this is such a low volume exchange. You know, from the current price at the top here, that's a 600x by the end of the year. Almost I said 600x, I'm sorry, 600%, a 7x by the end of the year. And I wouldn't put more than $100 in this thing. I wouldn't feel safe doing that. If I lose $100 on a shitty bet, okay, cool. If this thing does great things, it only has a $2 million market cap, I believe, right? Jesus. Yeah, almost a $3 million market cap. If this thing does great things, if it actually catches traction and it does good in the bull market, you could see this thing 1000x, no problem. So you could turn a lot of money from a little bit of money. You don't need to bet a lot of money on this thing. And I use the word bet because it is a gamble. This is kind of a gamble. But from what I can tell about the community, everybody seems really nice, seems about it. It seems like, you know, like a good kind of meme coin. I don't feel comfortable saying it's a good project because I don't know too much about it. I've tried looking for the white paper, and there's just so many fakes out there that it's hard to find the actual white paper. So I don't know how to go about that. But let's see. Caspa rounded top, invited cup and handle on the 4-hour inverted. Dogecoin is blue chip now. I think so, man. I think it is. It's in the top 10. I think it will remain in the top 10. At least remain in the top 20 for quite a while. Let's see here. Let's go to Caspa real quick. 4-hour, you say, huh? Inverted cup and handle. Could be. Could be. It could be. Could be an inverted cup and handle. That's possible. You got your cup here, and then your handle would come, right? That's what it would be. Although I don't know, man. I stand by it. I think it looks more like it wants to go up than it wants to go down. Generally, when I see this kind of stuff, it's like you get this, you kind of have this, and then it like W's out, and you are overall in this uptrend still, right? You haven't broken out of it. You don't have lower lows. You don't have lower highs. I'm biased to the upside at the moment. Looked like you wanted to engulf this candle. That was a bullish engulfing candle, but you couldn't. You got down here and you actually had a little bit of a bounce. No volume as you're coming down. All the volume's coming in as you're going up. I like it. You know, I definitely do like it. And at the moment, from this low to this high here, you're in an area that you've bounced pretty commonly before with all these runs up. So I don't know. It might be an inverted cup and handle. It's possible. If it is, that would imply a move down, right? Like about from where you would break. It'd be depending on where the handle forms. Let's give it like right here. That would make it move down to around like 4 cents or something like that. And maybe you do that. Maybe that's possible, but I don't know. Volume is decreasing. We're getting toward the end of it, so when volume comes in, that'll probably be the breakout of this move. But that's my time to go, guys. I think that's my time to go. I'll do one more chart. I'll do BLZ for Mr. C here, and then I'm gonna wrap it up. BLZ USD on Blue Zell, dude. Yeah. I remember Blue Zell. Oh man, it had a day, huh? I remember. This is an OG coin, man. This thing, it is old. I remember Blue Zell. This is from like 2017, dude. This is an OG coin. I don't think BLZ USD. Let's see on Binance. There we go. Yeah. This thing is old, man. I didn't know that it had such a good bull market. I totally forgot about Blue Zell. From bottom to top here, look at that. You did over 100x. Looks like a rather bullish chart. To be fair, you do have lower highs, right, coming in. I wonder what it looks like BLZ USD on crypto. It's about the same, so whatever. I don't know, man. I don't know. Still a lower high here. You could go lower. Even with the 74% month, you could go lower. It's possible. There's not a lot of volume coming in, which isn't exciting. Where when you were bottoming before, right, you had a lot of volume coming in. Now you don't. It's not as encouraging. and you're rejecting the 382. It's okay though. A lot of coins look like they want it, that they haven't found their bottom yet, and like Dogecoin does. You know, Dogecoin looks like it hasn't had its bottom yet. Shiba looks like it hasn't had its bottom yet, but I still think that they're going to have good bull markets. Mana, I think, is going to outperform a lot of cryptos, and I don't think it's found its bottom yet either. But if this thing was to go lower, maybe down to the 618, maybe to this 0.69 area, somewhere in there, and then from there, then we go up. Though it looks like it's getting close to that. You've got this nice like kind of flattening base, and then, you know, descending range. I wouldn't be surprised if you did go lower. And how much lower, I don't necessarily know. I would expect somewhere between here around, what is that? That's around like 36, 37 cents to 26 cents. 36 to 26 cents, 10-cent range there. You could even go lower. That's possible too. Let's see, from this low to this high. I mean, you could go to the 1618 down at 17 cents. That's possible. I don't know. Hard to say. Hard to say. Monthly RSI looks good. Looks good. Monthly MACD, if we were to go lower, you'd have some bullish divergence, some very severe bullish divergence. MACD is green this week, but that doesn't surprise me. I mean, you can very much give that back, right? You had this little pip here, and then you gave it back. You had to flush out afterwards. Maybe you see something like that again. RSI looks strong, but if you close the week like this or lower, you do have hidden bearish divergence, so that, and you have a lower high. So I'm not necessarily, after coming off of a lower low, I'm not necessarily encouraged by that. On the daily, very, very hot RSI. Wow, man, what are you at right now? You're at a 92.5, almost a 90, yeah, 92.6 there. That's crazy. That is crazy, man. I bet you do top off and roll over here, probably. Yeah. Almost hit 100 on the 4-hour. I think you do. I think that's probably your top. You probably don't go higher from here, at least in the immediate term. Blue Zell, though, man, I didn't even know it had 100x. That's crazy, dude. What is it? What's its market cap right now? BLZ. I like Blue Zell, by the way. I've looked into this project to see. I really do like Blue Zell. This is a coin that I was interested in back in 2018. I just kind of forgot about it because I was like newer. I'd been in crypto for a couple years at that point, but I was newer to trading and stuff like that. So I just, you know, I figured I didn't know too much. So I tried to stick with more blue chip stuff after I learned my lesson the hard way with a lot of altcoins. And Blue Zell, you know, even though it had a really nice bull market, it did drop, like, overall from like this high here all the way down. It did drop like 99.2%. That's pretty bad, man. That is pretty bad. Whether you had $100 or $100,000 in this thing, you were met with the same end. You know what I mean? So it's not a good thing. But it had a really good rally. It definitely did have a really good rally for such a low cap coin too. A lot of volume down here, man. And I think this is, isn't it a storage coin? It's like, if I remember correctly, isn't it like, what's it called? Like Oracle? Isn't that what like it aimed to be, is like the Oracle of crypto or something like that? Maybe I'm wrong, but I think it's a storage coin. I might be wrong on that, but let's see. Developer, widgets, social. I don't know. I'm not going to look into it. Okay, fine. Screw it. We'll look at the white paper. Page not found. Okay, that's a sign right there. Let's see. Storage and gaming. Okay, yeah. It's okay. Ethereum and Cosmos now. Okay, we'll do Ethereum and Cosmos, and then I really will wrap this up. I got to go, you guys. But, okay, we'll do NWC. Take it easy, RA Production. Thanks, man. Peace out. We'll do NWC. We'll do Ethereum and Cosmos, and then I'll end this video. NWC, USDT, Cambria. I knew someone named Cambria. She wasn't nice. She wasn't nice at all. She seemed nice at first, but she wasn't nice. Anyways, let's see. All-time low to high. Kind of respecting this fib. You bottomed in an area. I don't know. First look on News Crypto Tether. Man, this is kind of OG in itself. Not really, I guess. It's back in 2019, 2020 times. Came out right in the midst of the bull market. That's nice. Good for it. I bet you see this 786 or 886. I do think that you come lower. You got a double top here. You have a flattening base. I bet you do come lower. That's totally possible. That's totally, in my opinion, likely even. RSI looks weak. Looks weak. You're in a little bit of an uptrend, though you could break out of it. You've been in this uptrend for a while, and it hasn't really promoted an uptrend in price, has it? So looks weak at the moment, rejecting this 50 area. The MACD itself also, let's see here. Yeah, you went above the zeros, but then you came back down. You probably do come down and find like a higher low on your, man, this is a crazy looking oscillator formation there. Just a straight uptrend for a little while, which is nice to see, but let's see. Yeah, daily looks bad. Daily RSI kind of looks good. I don't know, man. If you can't break above these highs soon, you're probably going to go down. And the fact that you're up here and the volume just died off, I do think you go down. That's my honest interpretation. 4 hour RSI, you're in a downtrend. MACD, you are below the zeros on the daily. Let's see, you're below the zeros. You actually just got above it, so you might reject this area and come down. Hard to say. If you can get a day to close, not any of this wicking stuff, but a day to close above here, above 7.47 cents, then maybe things start to look good, right? Then things will start to look good. Then you're kind of breaking out of this overall downtrend on the daily. But I do think you want to go lower at the moment. And where do you go? Again, let's see. You probably go, oh man, you could go down to 2.7 cents. You might not even go that low. This might be one of those rare occasions where you actually don't see the 1272. Maybe let's maybe do this one. Let's maybe do this one, because I don't know if that one makes a whole lot of sense. Let's try this one. Bottom to top here. Yeah, maybe you form a slightly lower low, kind of like a double bottom, something like that. Maybe you do go to 2.7 cents. There it is again at that 1618. Maybe you do. Again, that would be, lining up with this one from low to high. If I can get the low on there, that puts that 1272 right there. So I do think, regardless if you go barely lower than this, down to about 4 cents, or if you go down to about 2.7, 2.8 cents, I do think you go lower from here. As far as like what this thing does in the future, I don't know, man. I don't know enough about it. It is NWC, right? NWC. Come on now. News Crypto, you are number 890, so it's probably a low cap coin, $11 million. This has, it has 100x potential. It even has 1000x potential if it catches, if it gains traction. There doesn't look like there's a whole lot of volume here. The most volume came from the all-time low, which is not a bad thing. If you were, let's say that was the low. Let's give it. Let's see. We'll just say that's the low for now, just to like humor it, right? This thing could go all the way up to $6. It could go all the way up to $26, and that would be an insane move, right? Of about 100x to a 400x move. That's totally possible. Could it do a 1000x? Yes, it absolutely could. Because 1000x from 11 million would put it at a, what would that be? That would be 10. That'd be 11 billion, right? No. Or is that 100x? That would be 11 billion for a 1000x, because 11 million, 100 million is a 10x, 1.1 billion is a 100x, 11 billion would be a 1000x. So that is a high market cap, especially to come from 11 million, but I'm just saying it's possible, right? Bitcoin's not going to do a 1000x in this cycle. This is possible for this thing to do in this cycle. If it catches traction, if it gains popularity, if a big exchange like Binance or Coinbase were to buy it, they're going to need a lot of supply, and they're going to buy all the supply down here. But there doesn't look like there's a whole lot of volume. That's okay though, there can be OTC trades too in crypto. It doesn't all have to be on exchanges. And they could just be buying quietly. Like all this time is a lot more volume than what these spikes lead to be. But I do think you go lower, and then from there we'll see. But as far as like, does it break its all-time high? I don't know. That's a bit of a ways away from here. From the current price, that would be like a 30x, which for a coin that could just be nothing, that's a lot in itself. So it's hard to say. If you do break your all-time highs, though, I think this thing definitely has a 100x in it, and potential again for like multi-100x, even 1000x if it were to gain traction. But first things first, you want to break above to like prove that you're even going to see that all-time high. you want to get above this like topping range here, above like 28 cents. And then furthermore, you want to get above this bottoming range here at about 51 cents. And if you can do that, there's really not that much in your way of breaking out to new all-time highs. So other than your previous all-time highs. So as far as what the chart looks like, it's a little wonky right now, probably a little bit lower, but it doesn't look too bad. Hell of a run. Hell of a run indeed. Let's see what it had. All-time low to all-time high. That was a 173x, almost a 174x. It's a nice run, definitely a nice run, but it's also kind of a low cap coin, so seeing runs like that, it's more or less expected. It's easier for it to do. I meant that BLZ is on both ETH and Cosmos. Oh, okay, gotcha. Well, in that case, and I like Cosmos, by the way. I like ETH too, but I don't know. I don't think ETH is going to be a top performer in this cycle. But with that, guys, I think I'm going to end it there if we don't have to talk about Cosmos and ETH. So I might end it there because my daughter's awake and I'm trying to do some stuff with my family today. So hope you guys have a good day. Hope you like the live stream. Thank you all for coming so much. You know, I'll do these more and more often, at least like one a day or one every other day, something like that. I really enjoy the interactions with you guys and all the requests. It allows us to kind of like look at some stuff that we haven't seen before, you know, and some OGs like Blue Zell or like just like I've never heard of News Crypto before. And then going over some other stuff. I can talk crap on Shiba Inu and make an ass out of myself by finding out that actually everything does line up. So, you know, it's kind of fun. It's a lot more personal, but yeah. Thank you guys. Oh, Mom, I love you. Thank you guys very much. My mom's in here. I hope you guys all have a good day, and I will see you. What's up, Stan? I'll see you guys on the next